So whether you all romantically decided yesterday that you're going to try for a baby, or you just plowed yourself through a 6th round of the 2-week wait, or you've been trying for years, you want to know how you can maximize your chance of falling pregnant this cycle, right? Not a big fat plan with how you can improve your chances in 3 months. Okay, let's do it. Hello lovelies, welcome to another one of my videos in which we'll be talking about how you can make the most of this cycle, how you can increase your chances of falling pregnant this cycle no matter where you are in your fertility journey. So the first one is for you newbies that are just about to start, or if you've been trying for a while but nothing's happening and this is new to you. You need to make love before you ovulate. I did a video on this recently, and that is about timing sex. So I will link that in the description down below and the cards up here. But the gist of it is that the 5 days before you ovulate is when you are fertile. If you've already ovulated, it's too late. So without making it complex, textbooks tell us that women ovulate on cycle day 14. So if the first day of your cycle is the first day of your period, calculate 14 days -5, and that's when you start making some fun in the bedroom. If your cycles are shorter or longer, then let's look at it a little bit differently. Let's assume that the second half of your cycle is completely healthy. It is textbook 14 days. If you are having a long cycle, for example, 32 days, then that puts you at ovulation day, cycle day 18, right? 32 minus 14 is still 18, I believe. And then go 4 days back to give you that 5-day fertile window. That puts you at cycle day 14 that you should get started, because that's when your fertile window theoretically opens. Again, if you have a shorter cycle, let's say 26 days, subtract 14, that takes you to cycle day 12 with your fertile window opening at cycle day 8. If you've already tried this or it is a bit confusing, let's go to the next step. The second thing that you can start doing is watching out for cervical mucus. This is the mucus that's around your cervix, and it changes according to how fertile you are. And around ovulation, right before ovulation, it becomes more stretchy, more like raw egg white, and maybe even watery. So if you start to notice that this kind of discharge, you know that you are close to ovulation. So this is when you need to get started with making love. Have you been trying both of these things, or you're not getting a lot of cervical mucus? And then we're ready for the next step. We want to find your personal fertile window, your personal fertile pattern, so to speak. And you can do that by learning how to chart. I'm not going to go into this too deeply because I've got a whole free basics to fertility charting course for you out there that you can sign up to and access right now. You can learn what your personal fertile pattern is, and you can learn to predict when your fertile window is opening, even if it's much earlier or much later than what is textbook. And you will do this according to fertility signs such as cervical mucus, but also others, with taking your temperature and ovulation tests, to name a few. And I teach all of this in that course, how you can use them appropriately to find your fertile pattern and your fertile window. Okay, so you've done that and you've been charting, but still no pregnancy, and you're starting to wonder if something's up. Well, if you've got a couple of charts, then you can actually start to see if there's a hormone imbalance going on for you based on those charts. And I teach all of this in the chart interpretation course. You may have noticed in your charts that your luteal phase is much shorter than 14 days, or you may notice that you have very erratic temperatures, or your temperatures are very low, or you ovulate like cycle day 10 or earlier, or your periods are very heavy or light, or you name it. Anything that is way different from what you saw in my Basics to Fertility Charting course, or that is different from what is textbook, is an indication that there may be a hormone imbalance going on for you. Especially if you top that up with really painful periods, or weight retention, or acne, or lack of quality cervical mucus, or having PMS, migraines, spotting, that kind of stuff. Those are all indications that there is a hormone imbalance going on. If you check out my chart interpretation course, you will see that I have modules on what ideal charts look like, charts that show signs of estrogen dominance, of low progesterone, low overall hormones, signs that you may be entering menopause or have premature ovarian failure, or signs of hypothyroidism, adrenal fatigue, and even of inflammation. Once you know where you're at, it's so much easier to improve your fertility because you know what you need to start tackling. I've got loads of videos and articles on my YouTube channel and on my website that cover topics such as hypothyroidism and treating it naturally, estrogen dominance, improving your low progesterone levels, etc., etc. You just need to know where to get started, right? A really practical next step that you can take is this next step, and that is detoxing the pill or any other synthetic hormones that you've had in the past. So those other synthetic hormones could be labor drugs, it can be steroids, it can be IVF drugs, and it really doesn't matter if you've only had the morning after pill maybe once, or you took the pill very shortly, or it was 15 years ago. It can impact your hormone balance today. And I've got several videos on this topic already as well, so I will make sure to link that in the description down below so that you can check that out. But what I wanted to mention right here very shortly is that detoxing these synthetic hormones, no matter how long ago or how short it was, can improve your hormone balance super quickly. You wouldn't be the first woman that starts on a contraceptives detox and falls pregnant right that cycle, if not the next one, because you didn't need that much of a reset to restore your hormone balance and fall pregnant. What I love about these homeopathic detox protocols that I've put out there is that I used to do this only with my patients one-on-one. And I came to realize that there was a way of me teaching this to you so that you can do it at home. Because if it is so simple for some of you to just detox homeopathically and then restore hormone balance and fall pregnant, then it's a shame if you are waiting on my waiting list for ages to get a one-on-one consultation. Also, for those of you that are interested in having a one-on-one consultation, if you've already detoxed homeopathically, it allows me to go much deeper with you and give you more tailored treatment and get past this silly block of the past synthetic hormones, right? So in the end, that saves you a lot of time. And it's not just if you have a one-on-one consultation with me, by the way. There are so many brilliant homeopaths out there that you may connect with, maybe locally, maybe online. And if you've already detoxed homeopathically these synthetic hormones, for example, then that will also give them a clean slate for them to prescribe other homeopathic remedies and for those to actually stick and make a difference for you. So if you've done all of these things and unfortunately still haven't fallen pregnant, and maybe you are closing in on 40 or you've passed 40, then it's especially important for you to start focusing on improving the quality of your eggs and of your men's sperm, of course. I've got some resources out there already that I will link down below as well that will point you towards how you can do that. But a couple of really simple things are, first of all, detoxing metals homeopathically. Some of us have clearly been exposed to metals. For example, with silver dental fillings, they will leak into your system, and it's even possible that early on in your life it didn't leak into your system so much that you were even able to conceive, but later on it's built up so much that the egg quality or sperm quality is so compromised that you can't conceive anymore. Then there are so many of us that live in cities or that have smoked in the past. There are lots and lots and lots of ways for us to be exposed to metals. And the issue is that the older we are, the more those metal levels will have built up. So it becomes even more important to detox the metals when you are nearing 40 or passing 40, because your egg and sperm quality is more likely to be compromised by the levels of metals. Then there are a couple of supplements that you can start taking as well, and I won't go into it too deeply, but I want to make a special mention of CoQ10 because this one is known to really improve both egg and sperm quality. Then there's vitamin C. I prescribe this to all my patients, and usually around 3,000 milligrams a day for a couple of months, because that is working as an antioxidant, is really, really helpful to lower toxic levels in your body and improve the quality of eggs and sperm. And then you're also going to want to look into things like zinc and higher levels of folic acid and magnesium for your man to improve his sperm quality and or count. Now, if you've done all of this, and then I think it's time for you really to go and see a practitioner. Of course, you can go and see a practitioner earlier on in the process, but if you're the DIY type of person and you have done all of this, I think this is really the time for you to find some expertise. And there are so many great people out there. As I said, there are naturopaths, there are homeopaths, locally, online. Make sure you find somebody that you connect with that is interested in hearing your story and your thoughts about your fertility. Because the truth is, chances are you know best what's going on for you, even if it's intuitively. And it's the job of the practitioner that is working with you to offer you their expertise and their experience, but to really listen to your story and to tailor the treatment plan to you, because it needs to be a collaboration between the two of you, not just another person telling you what to do or what not to do. And then I've got a little bonus tip as well, because I didn't really know where to put this in, but it's quite important actually. So I hope you stuck to the end of this video to see this. But you need to kick Candida to the curb. Candida is a fungus and we all have it. And it's fine, it just shouldn't overgrow, because if it overgrows in our gut, it compromises our immune system. And if it overgrows in our vagina, it compromises the quality of cervical mucus. And that means that the cervical mucus may be killing the sperm before it even gets to the egg, or that the cervical mucus becomes a structure, a texture that doesn't even allow sperm through. So it's really important to address this, especially because here in the West and also some cultures in Asia, high levels of sugar and white flour are a very common part of our diets, and that will feed the Candida. So if you have a history of recurring thrush or yeast infections or UTIs, urinary tract infections, or cystitis, bladder infections, or if you have issues with your digestion, maybe you have alternating constipation and diarrhea, it's always varying, or you feel bloated frequently, or you have a lot of gas, then this is an indication that things are out of balance and that you really need to start restoring that. So get yourself on some prebiotics, on some prebiotic foods, on some probiotics, and kick the sugar to the curb. And chances are that you will see your cervical mucus improve, regardless of whether you thought it was already okay or not. Hey, and if you're interested in learning more about detoxing homeopathically, then make sure to click on the playlist on your screen right now. And in the meantime, see you in the next video. Bye.